welcome to Hope Kids. Today we've got a great episode in store. It's really dramatic, it's a bit scary, and then it ends well. Don't all the best stories have a happy ending? But can I ask you a question? Have you ever been on a boat? Like a small boat or maybe a kayak? Was it nice and peaceful, or were the winds and the waves all around you quite scary? We'll come back to this in a minute. But firstly, shall we praise God for who He is and His creation? Stand up on your feet, let's go.
Into your light, my heart surrenders to your design. You gave me purpose, so I give my life. I'm giving you all of me. Out of the darkness and into your light, my heart surrenders to your design. You gave me purpose, so I give my life. I'm giving you all of me.
Have you ever found yourself asking the question, who is Jesus? You might want to pause me now and ask each other at home, who is Jesus? And after you've interviewed each other, think about the answer to that question. Maybe some of you would say he's the Son of God. Maybe some of you would say he's the man that was born as a baby that we celebrate at Christmas. Or maybe some of you would say he's the man that we celebrate at Easter. He died and then he came back to life. It's a great question to ask yourselves over and over again. Who is Jesus? And who do I think he is? In our story today, the disciples knew Jesus. They knew him really well. They lived with him, they followed him around, they saw and heard everything he did. But today we learn they still ask the question, who is this man? Even the wind and the waves obey him. Shall we find out what happened together? Let's watch the video now.
"Let's go out on the lake," said Jesus to his friends. The water was quiet and calm. His friends started to row. Jesus fell asleep. Big black clouds filled the sky. Jesus was asleep. The wind began to blow, the waves got bigger and bigger. But Jesus slept. The storm grew stronger, the lightning flashed. But Jesus slept. The thunder roared. The friends were frightened. But Jesus still slept on. The friends shouted, "Wake up, Jesus!" The boat was rocking from side to side. Jesus stood on his feet. The storm was loud, but Jesus spoke. "Quiet, be still," he said. The wind and waves became calm. The storm stopped. Jesus said to his friends, "Do not be afraid. You'll be safe with me." Then they realized that Jesus was a very special person. He had stopped the most ferocious storm. Jesus could do something no one else could.
It's now time for our game, and I hope there's more than one of you at home willing to play this today, because it's a race. Not a running race, a boat race. It's not Cambridge versus Oxford, but it will be fun. In our story, Jesus calmed the storm. He was on a boat, he was actually asleep, and the disciples were frightened for their lives. There's some instructions on how to play this in our workbook today, but it's actually quite simple. I'm sure you're going to be able to do it. I've had a go at making a boat. I've gone for a base, I've gone for a sail, I've gone for a straw. That's my boat. Who else is going to make a boat in your house today? And who can you have a competition against to see which one floats or is the quickest? Send us some photos to the Families at Hope Facebook page. It's now time for the craft, and as you know, in the story today, the wind and the waves were scaring the disciples as they were on a boat with Jesus. And I want us to think about how Jesus is even in control of the wind and the waves. At the end of the story, the disciples said, "Who is this guy? Even the wind and the waves obey him." We're going to have a go, like it suggests in our workbook today, to make a CD wind spinner. So what you need to do that is a CD. You're also going to need some string. I'm using an elastic band and anything you can find in your house today to decorate it and make it look beautiful. And what's great about a CD is that it will reflect the light and it will blow in the wind. Now it needs to be a CD that you're not going to use anymore, or it's blank, or that your parents are happy with you using. And make a beautiful pattern so that you can see it blow in the wind. You need to glue it safely enough so that it doesn't come off as well. And have a look at it as it blows in the wind. And when you see it, I hope it reminds you of the story today, that Jesus is in control of everything. Even the wind and the waves obey him.
Wondered who Jesus is, like who he really is. The disciples, they knew who Jesus was. They lived and travelled and laughed with him. But in today's story, even they asked, who is this guy that even the wind and the waves obey him? Can you imagine being in that boat with the waves and the water crashing over the sides? And Jesus just laying there asleep? Finally, he intervenes and he calms the storm. And he asks, why were they so afraid? I love that in this verse it says they were both afraid and amazed. I think I would be too if I was there. Shall we learn our verse together? Are you ready? The followers were afraid and amazed. They said to each other, "What kind of man is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Luke chapter 8, verse 25. Shall we try it again? Ready? The followers were afraid and amazed. They said to each other, "What kind of man is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Luke chapter 8, verse 25. Shall we try it once more? Ready? The followers were afraid and amazed. They said to each other, "What kind of man is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Luke chapter 8, verse 25.
It's now time to pray creatively, and what you're going to need is a balloon. We've already blown this balloon up, and what we're thinking about is the things that scare us, what we're afraid of, because the disciples in Jesus' story today were terrified of the wind and the waves because they were on a boat and they were worried for their lives. And what I want us to do today is to think about the words that Jesus said, "Peace, be still." And what happened in the story was that the wind and the waves obeyed him. And I'm going to think about now the things that scare me. And as I give them to God and pray and let them go, I'm going to say the words, "Peace, be still." And we're going to see our fears and our worries lift to God and then fall to the ground. Are we ready? Peace, be still. Have a go at praying at home today. Who is this man? Even the wind and the waves obey him. The disciples were both amazed and terrified. I wonder at home today how you're going to respond to this story. You could pray about the things that scare you. You could think about the fact that Jesus is in control of the wind and our creation with the craft today. Or you could get competitive as a family and make lots of boats and put them in your bath. Whatever you do, think about the fact that Jesus is incredible. He is powerful, he is gentle, and he gives us peace. Have a go at any of the activities and send us a photo at the Families at Hope Facebook page. But shall we worship him one more time together? Ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go!
Whenever I run, you come and chase me. Wherever I go, you're always there. Every time I fall, you catch me. And when I hide, you hold me tight and remind me who I am. No height, no depth could take us from your love. No life, no death could undo what you've done. The future and the past are yours. My life is in your hands, and all these things I know. Your love reminds me who I am. from your